Thursday morning, 7:21 a.m. Woke up this morning and cracked open the emails and started reading some Substack articles from different people that I subscribe to, some of the newsletters. And one of them, of course, is my buddy Dan and OK Photo and Stay Focused. And read his most recent newsletter, and man, it was great. He had some great photos in that one. It was really nice. So really enjoyed it. He shot some Pro Image 100, or I believe they're calling it Coda Color or Coda something 100 now, and really nice. Like there were a couple of photos in there that I really liked. There was one that I think it had something like, there was this shop or big building or warehouse or something. I think it said Eagle Beach in it. He kind of shot through the trees and stuff there. That was really nice. Really liked that one. And of course there were some other ones, but that's just the one that kind of caught my attention the most in the moment. But the whole reason why I'm bringing this up is because it got me to thinking about something that I often find myself telling myself these days, and that is that we are all different. And what I mean by we are all different is that we all have different ways of doing things, and we find enjoyment in different ways, and all of that doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that there aren't people out there in the world that are exactly the same in that possible way, but it just means that, like maybe within our friend group, or maybe within our family or our workplace or whatever, we're often different in a lot of ways. And I bring this up because, I have a lot of friends and colleagues and, even family that are, they're always into, a lot of social media, a lot of being online, being connected and things like that. And that's how I kind of used to be as well. But also at the time, like, things were much simpler way back when it came to social media. Like, you really were talking with your family and friends. And what I mean by family and friends, like, I've made friends with people who are on social media. But, not that long ago, like, the only people that you were even, seeing stuff from and talking to and reacting to on social media were people that you knew. So you actually knew the people most of the time. And I say not that long ago. I mean, it was quite a while ago, I guess, back when Facebook and stuff started. But anyway, I'm just bringing this all up because I have to constantly remind myself that we're all different. And how this all relates to social media and stuff is, as I said, how we interact with it and how we want to interact with it. And these days I find myself, not, like, I guess, disconnecting in a lot of ways. And so I find myself, having deleted apps for the most part on my phone, and kind of only using stuff more so when I'm on an actual computer, and also kind of just not going to the different things as much. As I mentioned, I read Dan's recent post, and I read it on email. I read it through the email that I get when he makes a post. And I didn't go into Substack or anything like that. I'm not even signed into Substack. Like, I jump on, I'll sign in sometimes and then jump back out, sign back out. So a lot of the times I don't even spend, much time in there. Like I may jump in, drop a post, drop a comment or whatever, reply to a comment and log back out. And then that's it. So, and then sometimes I'll go 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days without even opening Substack. But I will open the emails and, a lot of the times and look through the emails and things like that. And I don't know, I find that I kind of enjoy, using Substack in that way. Because if I just look at the email that comes through and I read it and everything, of course, if I want to comment or share or anything like that, I've got to go into the app, right? I've got to go into the app or go into the website and, make the comment and like it and share it and all that. And, that is if I do that. If I'm logged in, I try to do that. If I'm not logged in, then it may actually just get skipped. Doesn't mean that I didn't read it. It just means that, and doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it. It just means that, I don't feel the desire to log in order to leave a comment or to reply to something at that moment. And then later, when I do log in, if I remember it, I will go back and, do that, share or like or comment or whatever. So all of this, like I'm saying this morning because I know that sometimes we think about like, I wonder what people are thinking. I wonder if people are, thinking that I don't like their stuff anymore, or I don't, want to talk about their stuff anymore, or things like that. I know sometimes I find myself thinking that because sometimes I ask myself those same questions when, maybe I've been doing really good on something like Substack or social media and maybe I've been getting, a lot of shares or a lot of likes on something, and then suddenly I hit the crickets. And so sometimes I find myself thinking like, well, I wonder if people are like kind of upset or mad or whatever. But then I just have to tell myself that, like there are a couple of things at play. I mean, I know we always say the algorithm, and that is at play. I do agree. But at the same time, sometimes we just have to kind of like, just say that it's people and it's people being different and people using things in their own way. And that's what I think a lot of it is. So, and as I said, I don't sit here and think about it like, too much anymore, but I did find myself thinking about it a lot at one time. As a result, it made me kind of bitter. It made me kind of want to just quit everything and all of that. And, doesn't mean those feelings aren't still there at times, but, at the same time, I just kind of go with it and let it go. So we're getting kind of close to the cutoff mark here. I usually try to keep these right around the 10-minute mark. That way I don't have to do any real excess editing when I'm putting them together. I have a little template put together so I can kind of jump in, drop it in, drop out, and let that be that. So it is Thursday. I'm probably going to get all these uploaded on a Friday. So I'll catch all of you next time. Peace.